My most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord. Sairam to all. I have not been able to put my videos in the last month because I have been suffering from acute knee pain and I had been going for physiotherapy. Anyway, to continue my stories with Bhagwan, this was one incident that happened in 2004. In this year for Shivratri, after Swami took out the lingam, Swami suddenly collapsed. Everybody was stunned, people were crying, and suddenly Swami's boys wheeled him into the interview room. So Swami was inside for a little while. Everybody was crying. It was total pandemonium, nobody knowing what was happening with Swami. This was also a month after my mother had left her body, and I was grieving for her. So when I saw this Swami collapsing, it was like a premonition of what would happen if Swami left his physical form. So this upset everybody. All the devotees were in tears. And then a few minutes later, Swami was wheeled out, and then Swami sat on his chair and he spoke for a few minutes more, and he said not to be sad, nothing had happened to Swami and all that. So this is what had happened for Shivratri. At this time, there was a man named JK, some Jayant Kumar or something, an NRI living in USA, who had come and was staying in Sai Plaza because he bought a letter of recommendation from Swamini. So he had visited our ashram in LA. So I allowed him to stay as a guest in Sai Plaza, and he has been living here for the past 1 month. He was here for Shivratri and everything. A few days later, he came to my flat one day and said, I want you to come for bhajan to a room in the North Block. It is very special. When you come there, you will know. I normally don't go out anywhere because Swami had told me just go for bhajan and darshan and come back home. So I hardly ever visited anybody inside or outside the ashram. This JK insisted that I come that day evening for about 6:30 after Swami's usual bhajan. So I said, okay, I will come. And what happened strangely was that day, the bhajans got over at around 4:30. Before 5 o'clock, Swami took Arati and went somewhere. So I was, sitting there waiting for it to be 6:30 so that I could go to this room in the North Block. While I was sitting there, outside the mandir near South Prashanti, I was feeling very uncomfortable, and I was getting this feeling that I should not go, I should go back to Sai Plaza. But since I had promised, I sat there, and when it was about 6:30, I walked down to this room in the North Block. There were a lot of people there. Lot of Swami's staff members, the doctors working in Swami's hospital, and many, many, many VIPs were all seated there in this large room. And there was this huge altar with the picture of Swami, and in front of it there were many, many lingams, those round stones of all colors, pink and black and, with striations on it, and all kinds of lingams were placed in front of the altar. So I went and I found a place. There was hardly any place to sit, and there was this old lady sitting on a cot on one side. So I found a place next to her on the floor. So I sat there, and then the bhajan started. It was, very high tempo, all Shiva bhajans, because Shivratri was just over a few days ago, and everybody was in this Shiva mood. This bhajans reached a crescendo, and suddenly we noticed that a lingam was, like a black stone was emerging from the mouth of this old lady. And people just went crazy, and she took out this lingam, and JK came near and opened his palm to receive that lingam, and he placed it on the altar. A few minutes later, another lingam also came out It was the size of a blackberry, the Kala Jamun that we get here in India. It looked exactly like that, and it was the same shape and size of this lingam. And the bhajans continued for a little while, and then suddenly this lady got up from the bed and she went inside the kitchen. And she came back and then she sat on the bed again. When she was sitting on the bed, I noticed that she had held up her hands like this, like something was in the hands. And she had put it on her lap. So once Arati took place, the bhajans were over. Suddenly from this cupped hands, small lockets of Swami started to fall down. And people started scrambling to get one of those. She also gave me one or two of them, I think. And immediately I got up to leave. I had a very bad feeling. I don't know what it was, but something didn't strike me as, as genuine or whatever. My feeling was not good. So I threw the locket somewhere on the road and I went back to Sai Plaza. The next day, I get a call from the DYSP here. I was, friends with him. We had a lot of interactions in the earlier years when he was out to crucify me for many, many reasons, But then later on, he found out that I was okay and he became my friend. So I was called to the police station and then he asked me, Jayashree, I have received a complaint like this from the ashram that one lady was taking out a lingam and a lot of people had gone there yesterday evening, and I was given the complaint that you were behind the whole thing and this mother and daughter were staying in your Sai Plaza. So I told him I don't even know them. I went there at the invitation of JK. I know nothing about them and I saw this happen, and I told a lot of VIPs and Swami staff members were also there. I was not the only one present. And Mr. Venkat Reddy, he questioned me all those things, and later on I went back to Sai Plaza. Again, I was called a few days later again for interrogation, and he said the orders have come from inside. I have to get to the bottom of this and report to them. Then I told him that the whole thing happened because this person JK, who is staying in my hotel, he had invited me and that is why I went. If you want, you call JK, he will tell you, he will corroborate my story that I had nothing to do with it. And he knows those people. So they called JK to the police station and interrogated him. And one night he came up to me and he said, Jayashree, I'm leaving just now. I'm in big trouble. I don't know what is going to happen to me. I'm going back to the US. I'm leaving tonight. They are after you. They have plans to throw you out of Puttaparthi. This was such a shock to me, and he comes in the night, 9:30, 10 to tell me this. And he left Sai Plaza and went. I couldn't sleep, I was all upset and I was talking to Swami and I kept telling, Swami, why is it that I am the only one getting crucified? So many of your devotees were there, why are they not asked all this? And you know the truth. You are Bhagavan, you know everything, you are omnipresent. Why would I be singled out for this punishment, Swami? If you have to punish, then punish everybody who was there that day. Many people took pictures. You can easily find out who all were there. But only I am being crucified now. And I was very upset. I was crying, I was shouting and telling Swami all kinds of stuff, Finally, I told him, Swami, if you are going to throw me out of Puttaparthi, I came here, you gave me this boon to come and live here in Puttaparthi. Everything that has happened to me has been your blessing. Even getting Sai Plaza, was a gift from Swami to me. And I said, okay, if you want to throw me out, fine, Swami. Tomorrow morning, I will make a paper donating all my properties, everything in Puttaparthi to you, including my hotel Sai Plaza, to which I was at that moment very, very attached. I'm going to leave all this, Swami. If I cannot see you, if I'm thrown out of the ashram, I don't want to live here anymore. I will go back somewhere and continue my life. I will leave this place forever. And finally I said, Swami, if you are the truth, your name is Satya Sai, you cannot do this, you know everything. You should be called Asatya Sai, not Satya Sai. I said even this. And it was early morning by the time my whole tantrum was over and very tired, I fell asleep. Then about 8 o'clock, one of my staff boys, he knocks at the door. And when I opened the door, he said, Amma, somebody from the ashram has come to see you. I was in no mood, okay, with that whole drama in the night. I said, okay, ask him to wait. I will come down, I said. And I took a leisurely bath. For the first time in my life, after knowing Swami, I did not light my lamp, I did not do puja, I did nothing. And slowly I went downstairs to my office. When I reached the lobby, I saw Mr. Pradhan. He was Swami's chief security officer, and he was always near Swami's car when Swami goes out and all that. So I've known him, in a casual manner, but not very intimately. He was sitting on the sofa, and then I just said Sai Ram, very, what do you say, not in a good mood, So just casually I said Sai Ram, sir, and I invited him into my office. So he's sitting in front of me, and he has this smile on his face, and I'm getting annoyed, inside. I'm just saying, get it over with. I know you have come to throw me out. You have probably come with instructions from the ashram authorities. So be done with it and go. I was just, thinking like this. And Mr. Pradhan was sitting and smiling away, and he said, Jayashree, why are you so upset? You're looking so angry. I said, oh, sir, tell me why you have come. Then he said, it was only about, 8:30, 9 o'clock. He said when Swami came out at 8 o'clock to give darshan, when he stepped out of the Yajur Mandir, he called me and he said, you go to Sai Plaza, you meet that mad girl, find out from her what actually happened, and then report it to me and also to the DYSP and close this matter. Get her story first. And he said, go just now. She has kept me up the whole night. She has been eating my ears, calling me all names. She even called me Asatya Sai, that I should change my name to Asatya Sai. So go now, find her, talk to her and report back to me. And he also said, tell her nobody will throw her out of Prashanthi Nilayam. As long as Swami is there to protect her, nothing will happen to her. Tell her that. So this was Swami's message, and Mr. Pradhan told me this, and of course I started to smile, and he said, I am like your father. You have any problem in the ashram or with any other situation in your life, you call me, you meet me, tell me, and I will go and convey the message to Swami and give you back his reply and blessings. And this had a story to continue when my husband fell ill. So this was the incident with the lingam. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you so much for your support and love. Swami bless you all. Thank you.